welcome back to the Dolden Details channel. Right, some 10 months ago I shot the filthy Fiesta video. Some 237,000 of you lovely people out there watched the video. But in doing so, you put down some really interesting comments, and some of which I took on board and some of them I sort of cast to one side and thought, what are you talking about? Well, some of them I took on board and I'm going to put into practice in this video. We're going to revisit the Fiesta. The only problem is it's a lot worse than it was before. Ugh. So we're going to be using builder's gloves. These are the heavy duty builder's gloves, the static technique with the diluted 10:1 fabric conditioner, a pet hairbrush and numerous other tools. But also we've got a new toy to play with. We've got a steamer, nothing to do with the dog hair, that's going to deal with the grime. So without further ado, roll the video. So here we go then, one big deep breath, I'm going in. First of all, we begin by removing the contents of the vehicle, i.e. that makeshift duvet, hashtag dog seat cover, and start by removing the debris. Fancy pair of shoes. No, they're not mine, obviously. Now look at the carpet once these are removed. Look at the hose! Oh my word. It's the only clean bit of the car. And all the loose change and other bits and pieces, knickknacks, straight in the bag to give back to the owner. And yes, that is a disabled badge. Don't lose that. Quite handy actually if you go to Tesco's. No, I didn't say that. And we move on to the fabric conditioner stage now. 10:1, a liberal spray on the seat. Not only does this help by removing the dog hair, it smells rather nice. And just by working your gloves over the top of the seats, you can begin to pull the hair towards you in some sort of a makeshift pattern. Lovely. Now, I did take the glove off every now and again to operate the camera, and then you can see it, one big fur ball. Now you can follow this behind with a hoover if you like, or go with the hoover and the gloves. Whatever works best for you. So how good is it? Look at that lot, Mr. Furry Hands. And then it's just hoover and hoover and hoover. If you see any strays there, you can repeat the process. Drag out those stubborn Jack Russell hairs. Found by rubbing your hand backwards and forwards, causing quite a bit of friction, produce the most smell. These are rubber, these gloves after all. Hashtag condom fingers. Nice underneath the seats. A mixture of Jack Russell hair and debris. Same techniques applied. Use the spray and then just drag into an area where you can hoover it up. Moving on to the pet hairbrush now. I thought I'd give this a go. It seemed to work to a degree. Quite efficient. Get it into the corner and then hoover it up. The only downside about using the brush attachment is that turns into a mini Jack Russell and you have to keep cleaning it out. So then I switched over to the crevice tool. So there you go, crevice tool in action. Not going to be worrying too much about those seat rails, and yes, you can take the seats out. I know that because I had this in the comments before. Why didn't you take the seats out? Because I'm doing it on someone's drive and this was an afternoon and I didn't really feel the need to take the seats out. Not everyone wants to take seats out of cars just to hoover them out. So this was just to show you some techniques you can use by removing the dog hair with these tools. Namely the biggest one is on the end of it. So again, pull it all into the corner. And do some both sides of the footwells and then hoover it up. So I've got rid of most of the dog hair there. That is just debris. Nice build quality from the old Fords. Nice footwell flapping around there. Look, oh yeah, really nice. So it's just a case of repeat until you got the desired finish, which was a lack of dog hair. Was it perfect? No. Was it better? Oh yes, a lot better. In fact, the owner didn't recognise it. One of the worst areas was the rear footwell, obviously where the dog jumps down to get out. I think just looking at him, he loses his fur, to be honest with you. Now you can, should I say, use APC in these areas. It helps dampen down the dust as well. If it's really bad, you have to get the wet vacs out. So of course, once the floor area was done, moved on to the seats. Now, yet again, you can use an all-purpose cleaner. I chose to freshen them up with the fabric softener and then hoover the worst off in preparation for steaming. And there we have it. This is the Neil Fix steamer. So the technical data for this is tank volume of 1.2 litres, max temperature of 130 C, and a working max pressure of 4.5 bar. So this already has some water in it. I'm just going to top it up. I was using it the day before. I actually used bottled water in this at 17p. You can't really go wrong. It'll prolong the life of the boiler. Our water is extremely hard. If you use hard water in these, all you're going to do is wreck the boiler over a long period of time. It'll just end up full of lime scale. So there's only a little bit of a top up in there. Remember, this does hold 1.2 litres. You're probably thinking, well, how long does this take to heat up? 9 minutes this takes. Bit of an odd time. So plug it in and you should get a light on there if you plug it in. What an idiot. There's the sprung loaded switch or trigger, whatever you want to call it. There's the jet nozzle. And that's the rather aggressive tool you get with it. That is very aggressive. So that's what you can use on your seats. Once that becomes damp and horrible, you can then replace it with a microfiber. So while we're waiting for that to heat up, I position the camera so the shadow is straight over the top of me working. Nice one, Paul. Good one, Spielberg. Spray some Lenore on the rear parcel shelf. You can, of course, use the citrus. I thought I'd freshen this up with a bit of Lenore, and then crevice tool comes out, hoovering the rubbish off it. Dog hair and filth, namely fag ash. Shame on you. Now, don't go in too close with this unless it's for short periods of time. You can go in and come back out again. This was the base of the seat. no chemicals are used. You can of course use your citrus, your APC, your all-purpose cleaner diluted, and use it, agitate with a brush and then release it with the steam. This is just to show the power of the steamer with no chemicals. Not bad, eh? Wait till you see it on the foot pedals. Pretty impressive. There's a dirty mark in the footwell there. This is about to disappear. So one hand in the steamer and then follow up with a microfiber. Have plenty of microfibers when you're going to do this. Obviously they become rather damp pretty quickly. And the other thing is, if you're steaming continuously, it's not too bad. But if you stop for a while, it tends to spurt out a bit of water, some water droplets come out when you first start. So try to avoid spraying it directly in electricals. Look at that, boom! Use it on door cards. These are pretty grubby. Don't let your wife see this. She'll have you doing the kitchen, the bathroom, everything. Oh, that steamer's really good. You could do the shower with that, couldn't you, Paul? Yeah. When it comes to this bit where all that grubbiness gets in, this came into its own. Of course you can see the water droplets down the side, just mop them up with the microfiber. When you wear shorts, just be careful where you put that nozzle. Ow! That becomes very hot and hurts. So now you can dress the plastics after. I chose not to on the day, just to show you the finish of the plastics. Then of course you can do the rails underneath the seats to get all that grime out, which I'm doing there. You can agitate with a brush. I didn't really feel the need to. And then just mop up the excess moisture. Brilliant for dashboards. So the one place you are probably going to want to use this on is the indicator stalks, where all that makeup residue builds up and just general sweaty grime from your fingers. And yes, you can do steering wheels with it as well. More dirty marks. So once the door cards were done, I moved onto the seats. If they're really grubby, you can use some APC on these as well. I'll literally just try to freshen them up and using the microfiber attachment provided. Once this gets grubby, switch it. Get a microfiber and just put it on with an elastic band around the handle and you're good to go again. And that is pretty much it. So did it look any better? I'll let you be the judge of that. Okay, so what do we think about this whole builder's glove technique with the fabric conditioner? Did it really work? Well, it does to a degree. The only downside is that the more you move your hands around with these things, the more smell comes from them. They absolutely stink. It's like a condom factory, these do. And they are rather warm, especially when it's 23 degrees. But overall, they do work very, very well. Some liberal sprays of the fabric conditioner. It seems to have this static effect. You saw the fur on the gloves, and then you just chuck your hoover in and just get rid of it. It's a case of sort of twinning up with all these different techniques. Try that. If that's not working, then go on to the pet hair brush. These are fairly effective things. You can sweep and sweep and sweep, or drag the fur towards you. Same again. Get your hoover in there and get rid of it as quick as possible. I'm going to tell you one thing, which was a bit naughty of me on the day. I should have wore a dust mask and didn't have one to hand. This was a cancellation, and I didn't really have time to prep for this. And it was just a case of, right, let's just go for it. We'll see how this works. Read some more of these comments. Which ones are we going to do? We're going to go with these techniques. And on the day, I'm glad I did. And the car did smell rather nice at the end of it. Now, we're going to move on to the second part. That is the steamer. When it comes down to that, now, you've got to be a little bit careful with these. Don't go in too close with these, because you've got to be careful of the decals on the stalks, around your dashboard area, especially on older cars as well. Just put your microfiber behind it and just try and direct the steam as much as you can. Give it a wipe, you're done. You can agitate with APC on pretty much everything if it's really, really grubby, and then go in with your steamer again, or if you want to use that tool. But I think that tool's quite aggressive on the end. And it comes down to the other nozzle. This is the other one you get in the kit, which you place your microfiber on the end. Now the one you get, obviously after this gets a bit grubby, this sits on the end like that. Throw it in the wash, and then if you get one of those hair wobble things, you can then put one of your microfibers on the end like that, and then wrap elastic band or one of the hair wobbles around that, and then it's good to go again. And then once it gets wet or manky, bin it and start again. You can use, once again, APC on the seats first, and then use the steamer. You can use the steamer in conjunction with a wet vax if it's really, really bad. Didn't really feel I needed the wet vax on the day. The main problem with this car was the dog hair, and obviously there's some fag ash in there as well, which isn't very nice to deal with. The one good thing about the steamer is it kills germs, and it neutralises nasty niffs as well. I really like it. I think I'm going to be using that a lot more. You can use it on engine bays, door shuts, numerous other parts of the vehicle. We're going to see it back on the channel, I think, so I think I need to use that on an engine bay, so stay tuned for that one. So overall, the glove technique with the fabric conditioner worked in conjunction with the different tools. I will put a link for the steamer underneath this video where you can get it. I paid £89 at the time from the Clean store in the UK. You can get it on eBay, although it seems to differ in price. It seems to be a bit dearer on eBay. I don't know why, very, very odd. Once again, thanks for watching, and thanks for all the comments on the videos. It's been really interesting, this, and I'll probably dive into more of the comments and see what else I can use in future videos, because I'm not a complete professional. I just do this at weekends. I'm what they call a weekend warrior. An enthusiastic one, but I'm still nevertheless a weekend warrior. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, put your thumbs up. Please keep commenting, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.